Hey, what's going on guys? John Shea here from the No Shame Income Vlog, and today I'm going to be doing an ActiveCampaign review. So this is actually an autoresponder that's used to send out mass email to people that have actually subscribed to your email list. So you might be wondering, what is ActiveCampaign and how can I use this in my business? And I'm going to be covering all of that today in today's video. I'm just going to walk you through some of the pros and the cons of this software versus some of the other autoresponders on the market right now, and maybe some of the reasons you might want to go with ActiveCampaign over some of the others that are actually available out there to you. Now, one of the biggest things that I use ActiveCampaign for is actually going out there and basically making money for my email list, right? That's selling digital products like courses, doing affiliate marketing, and just having a way to communicate with the people that have followed me over the years through my internet marketing journey. If you signed up for one of my webinars or you've been in one of my online programs before, most likely you're also on my email list. And this is how I basically keep constant communication with all the people that follow me, both to build a relationship and to sell products. So what I want to do is, before you guys actually walk through this upcoming video and I walk you through all this stuff, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the video. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you actually go back and leave me a comment, if you have any questions for me about this video and any of the content that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I'll actually come back and reply to your comment. So let's dive into today's video. I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to bring you over to my screen, and I'll walk you through the software and pretty much everything you need to know about it. Alright, so we're over on my desktop, and what I want to do is first walk you through kind of what ActiveCampaign is and really who is this for, right? How are you going to be able to utilize this in your business? Then I'm going to take you through some of the pricing options and some of the features. And additionally, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my own ActiveCampaign account, show you some of the things that I've set up and how you might be able to start kind of getting some ideas flowing on how you could actually use this for your business. And at the end of this, if you guys decide to actually sign up for ActiveCampaign, I'm going to leave a link below in the description where you can actually go and sign up to get a free trial of ActiveCampaign. And if you guys sign up through my link, I will actually hand you one of my automations that is responsible for me earning well over $10,000 in online course sales. So you can actually take one of these automations and use it in your own business and modify it based on your own programs and your own content. And last but not least, I'll show you some use case examples of how you could go ahead and actually utilize this through a blog and how you can start using means to basically, getting more people onto your email list, right? And I'll give you some examples of how I'm doing that and how you can do that too. So let's first off go through the homepage. So, their tagline is "Go beyond email marketing with true marketing automation." So the biggest thing that ActiveCampaign does really well versus many of the other contenders out there, you've got companies like GetResponse, Aweber, there's ConvertKit, and many other popular email autoresponder platforms that have kind of emerged over the last few years. One of the biggest things that ActiveCampaign does really well is automation. And that's the ability to, say, get someone on your email list and have different actions happening based on certain things that they do. Maybe it's clicking links, maybe it's opening emails, maybe that's replying to an email, maybe it's visiting a certain page on a website, and having other actions basically take place based on the things that your users do. So it's very powerful in terms of what you can do with this, and I'll show you some cool examples of how I'm using it and maybe some of the things that other tools aren't going to allow you to do. So beyond that, they do allow you to do obviously email marketing. You're going to be able to send like personalized awesome emails to people with just a few clicks, as they say. You've got the automation, which we talked about. Additionally, if you go up to some of their higher level plans, they have a sales and CRM tool. So if you are basically someone that's out there selling and working with prospects and clients, they actually do have a built-in CRM, which you can use for managing all of that, managing your contacts and kind of a pipeline of all the prospecting that you're doing. As well as some messaging stuff that they have, like if you're working with, say, a Shopify store, this might come in handy. So they've got lots of testimonials. Again, they do have a free trial. So again, you can test all this out without paying anything if you want to give it a whirl. They basically talk about, send exactly what your contacts want. Automation gives you back your time. Sales automation to help you sell more. Message your customers when it matters most. You could have like different pop-ups and stuff appearing based on people, viewing a sales page or whatever have you. And beyond that, they've got some really awesome stuff with like their reporting, site tracking tools. They've got some extensions. You can do a lot with segmentation, automation goals, all kinds of different things that they've got built into this. And beyond that, they've got great training and support. So I've been very happy with them. And ultimately, what it comes down to is they actually have some pretty easy plans for people starting out. If you're just starting out and you only need up to 500 contacts, and you go with their monthly plan, you only pay $15. And this gives you unlimited email sending, their email marketing, and their marketing automation all built in with up to 3 active users, which is pretty good. And this is very competitive compared to some of the other competition out there in the marketplace. There's other companies that start at like $20 or even $30 just to get your account started off the ground. Now, I actually have 5,000 contacts, and I basically do the monthly plan, and I'm on the plus. So I'm right around this $170 a month mark. And this gives me some additional features such as lead scoring, their CRM tool, and some other things that they have like their deep data integration. You can set up a custom domain, custom branding. They do give you like one-on-one training, and there's a whole bunch of other features that you get with this. And of course, they have even bigger plans where you can get like, a whole bunch more features like this predictive sending, win probability. And then of course, if you're doing some big stuff, you can go with their enterprise plan. But obviously for anyone new just starting out, I would go with the monthly plan. 500 contacts, $15 a month is going to be more than enough to get you started. So let me kind of walk you through what the dashboard looks like, right? I actually have my own custom setup here. So I log into a John Shea ActiveCampaign based domain. I can see all my recent activity. So these are new people like subscribing to my email list, unsubscribing, clicking on links, things like that. You can customize this kind of dashboard here with all the different things that you want displayed. So I have like an interaction rate, my contacts, and a trend list here. But again, I can add little widgets and things that maybe give me some data on what's happening. More or less, you can go into contacts, and this will give you a list of your contacts. I'm not going to do that in this video because I don't want to show my customer emails. And beyond that, we also have the ability to send out campaigns. So this is kind of where I basically have an organized list of all of the past emails that I've sent out as a broadcast. Fairly straightforward. I can view reports and see tons of information about these. So here was a product I recently promoted called X-Wave. So I sent out 3 emails. I can see the dates that they were sent, how many people I sent it to, and when I last changed the emails for this. So the great part about this is I was actually able to create 3 emails all in one day and then schedule them out all throughout. You can see from the 18th, 19th, and 21st, I did all of this on the 18th. So it was very, very easy to set up. And I'm also able to go in and I can click on this view report, and I can get a ton of data about what's happening with this particular email. I can see people opening it through an activity stream, how many opens I got, how many clicks I got, any unsubscribes, bounces, and more or less different trends on like, what times people were opening the emails, things like that. I can go back and look at my actual email. I can look at more stats about like how many people actually opened it, how many people clicked it, and just get some general idea of all the things here. You can even narrow this down to geographics, so I could see like how many people were in UK, Germany, Netherlands, unsubscribes, all kinds of different things. And you have some other reports here depending on what you're looking to do. But let's get into some of the more meat of like what ActiveCampaign can really do for you guys. So if we head over to automations, this is the thing that I love about ActiveCampaign, and I think really makes this just ultimately one of the best things that makes ActiveCampaign special. So automations basically allows you to set up something where you could automatically send out emails or do different actions based on someone doing something within the system. So I'll give you a basic example, right? Over on my website here, I have this, basically this is my homepage, and I offer to give them my 7 steps to starting and growing an SEO consulting business. If they put in their name and email and click send me the guide, this actually triggers an automation that I have within here, and I'm gonna actually pull this up for you. I have these all labeled. They allow you to label these, and it gives you an easy way of organizing everything. So I have a lot of different automations, but basically I have this welcome email series. So I'm gonna open this one and give you guys an idea of how this would work. So this basically is a tag and a list that is basically set up within ActiveCampaign called LM ebook. And when someone subscribes right through my website there or through other pages I have set up, I automatically send them a welcome email, and then I wait for 5 minutes, and then I deliver them that ebook through a second email. And then I have something set up where within this email, I have a link that if they click on that link, I'll actually send them into my next automation. And if we go to my next automation, I'll just give you an idea here. I call this my indoctrination series. So this is kind of like welcoming them and getting them, acquainted with who I am. So more or less, I make sure that they're not subscribed to any other lists. I put them into a new list I have labeling that they're inside of what I call my soap opera sequence. And more or less, this sends them emails automatically every single day throughout an entire week. And what's so powerful about this is all these emails are all automated, right? I'm not like sitting here every day going, okay, I'm gonna type up a new email and then I'm gonna send this to these people, right? This is something that's all automated. And I have something really cool in here where if they say, hey, I want that next email now, like I want to keep reading your email series, I kind of do a little bit of a story, almost like a TV show. And they're basically intrigued. They might be intrigued. Oh, I want to see like the next email now. I want to know what's happening in the rest of the story. If they click on this link, it'll actually send them to that next email right away. And if they don't, basically it'll just wait a day and then send them that email. So it's extremely powerful, and it allows me to give my users the ability to kind of like read everything and go through and consume my content at their own pace, right? And what eventually happens is I'm pitching them my course and my program through this. And if they don't buy it through that initial story email, I actually send them into another automation. So this automation is basically a scarcity automation where I send them through a system that adds them to a Facebook custom audience. I give them a deadline, which basically is used through a third-party software where now there's a scarcity deadline timer basically on this. So I give them a certain amount of time to commit to taking an action of buying my program. And then as they go through these emails, I'm basically now pitching them and telling them more details about my actual program and what's all involved. So this is really, really powerful. It allows me to do a lot of different things. I'm asking them survey questions, I'm pitching them on a product, and ultimately I'm doing a lot of things that just ultimately I don't have to be involved in, right? All I have to do is get more people to sign up on my email list. And once that happens, all these automations are taking care of that for them. So again, I thought I'd mention, since I gave you guys a little bit of a preview here, thought I'd mention this again, is if you guys do decide to sign up for ActiveCampaign through my link, I will actually hand you these automations. One of the cool things that ActiveCampaign can do is I can actually come in here, and if we come back to my automation list, I can come in right here and literally just share this entire funnel. So I'll have like a URL that I can share with people and give them actual access to my different email automations. So I will give you guys these automations, and you could go in and modify the emails based on your own content and your own courses that you might be selling or whatever it is you're trying to sell. Now, in terms of some other features, they do have this set up here where this is like a pipeline where you can create deals. And I don't really utilize this right now, but the idea here would be like, let's say I was talking to a prospect. Maybe I was selling them Facebook ads or SEO services, right? I could be in contact with some of these people and add in deals, add a price value to it, and I can basically move them through different opportunities and stages based on where they're at. So maybe I've started the conversation, maybe now we've done a proposal, maybe the next stage is like, now we're kind of in this lull period. We know like what that person is worth. We can put them into a follow-up sequence and then eventually into a close sequence, and we can accumulate how much that deal was actually worth and how much money was made from this entire pipeline of deals that are being worked on. So this is a really amazing tool. There's other softwares out there that actually have this functionality just alone. So the fact that they have this in their software, I think, is pretty amazing in its own right. The other thing that you can do is manage different email lists. So this is really powerful. I can basically segment people based on what they've done. So I'll give you an example, right? We have this ebook here that I told you guys about, my 7 steps to growing an SEO consulting business. So when people sign up to that, I actually have, I'm going to close out of some of these tabs. I actually have a different list for people that are signing up to that. So I have here this LM ebook. This is basically people that have signed up to get that ebook. And it gives me an idea of how many people are in that list. Now, in addition to that, I have this other opportunity here where people are going and signing up for a webinar. If you guys actually click the link below in the description, if you go to that link, noshameincome.com/start, you'll see it might send you this page. And basically, this is a webinar registration that I've set up for a webinar. And anybody that signs up to this webinar, I add them into a list, webinar registrants. So I have 561 people that have actually registered for that event. So really powerful stuff that allows me to segment, and I could now send customized emails to the people that maybe registered for that webinar. I could say, hey, did you catch the webinar, or do you have any questions about the webinar, things like that. Whereas I might be sending something different to the people that went and checked out my ebook, right? And I can segment based on all these different things. So it's extremely powerful and allows me to do quite a bit in terms of, kind of catering different content to my audience based on what they've looked at. So in terms of some of the things I don't like about ActiveCampaign, I want to, kind of shed some light there. One of the things I don't like, and I've seen some other people talk about this, is when you go to create your campaigns, you basically have the option where you can create all these different things like standard campaigns or automated. You can do autoresponder sequences. And mainly what I usually do is standard or automated. And if I'm just going to do like a test email here just to show you guys. If we do standard, I will say their email editor isn't the best thing in the world. I'm going to pick a list, and this is where the design comes into play. So they do have quite a few templates already pre-built here. I actually like this personal email template if you guys are looking for something basic. But ultimately, the editor is a little bit flaky. So we'll use this template as an example. I'll put in my test email subject. One thing I will say I do like, by the way, while I'm here, is you can customize the email that these are sent from. So if you want to send from different email addresses, maybe you're doing different things with one account, you have the ability to do that. So that's a huge advantage that some of the other autoresponders don't have. But again, one of the negatives is their email editor. So if we come in here, basically everything is block driven, and it's a little bit clunky. So if I want to add like an image, I can't really just like throw it into the middle of this. It has to go like below it. And you can see it now, I kind of moved it in between these other blocks that I have. And it just makes it a little bit difficult to try to do things exactly the way you want. Like, see, now I kind of got it above. I could maybe put like a space in, all these different things, and you can add little blocks for different functionalities. Like here's one with Facebook or social media links. I could add a video. You can put in the URL, add actions. But ultimately, beyond that, I would say this is going to do everything that you need it to do. You can create some really awesome automations that are going to allow you to, just automate your business, right? I'll give you another cool example of one that I built. Let me kind of come back to, I'm going to do save and exit, and we won't continue with this. But I want to give you a little idea of probably one of the things I, least like about the platform. I want to show you something I did with an automation that has some really cool functionality. I actually had this story set up, and one of the things I was able to do is I actually had a contact that was going through, and I'll pull up like one random contact. Let me see if I can give you guys an example. I had something basically where people would enter my email list, and I would actually send them a survey, and I had something built through a third-party application that actually ties into the ActiveCampaign API, where more or less they submit answers in their survey, and as they're going through those answers, let me just see if I can find, so here's someone that just queued up. This person won't have answered the survey, but we'll open this contact, and I was able to add these custom fields to their contact record. So I basically said, in my SEO consulting business, they would supply an answer through that survey, their biggest problem right now, and the best thing that could possibly happen to them right now. And they have several answers, and based on the answers they submitted through the survey, it would actually pass that data back to their contact record. So this was really amazing, and additionally, beyond that, what I did is I set up ActiveCampaign lead scoring. So something really cool was that I wanted the ability to know how much are certain people being engaged with my email list. So basically, this person has a score that gets accumulated based on different things that they're doing. So what I more or less wanted to happen is if someone signed up on here, if they opened emails, if they clicked on links in my emails, if they replied to my emails, and really just did a lot of actions like open those emails on a regular basis, I would tie a score to that. So let's just say they open an email, I give them 40 points. If they click on a link, I give them 100 points. So what I did is I set up another automation that once they reached a certain number of points, I think I made it like 700 points. This means that they're very engaged. They're like opening a lot of emails. Maybe they've replied to some of my emails. They're clicking on links, all that stuff. Once they hit that threshold, I would get a personalized email like through ActiveCampaign that just says, hey, this person, this is actually, I think, a fake email. So good example to show you guys. It's probably not even a real person. They just put in a fake email. If they did reach that threshold, I would then basically go to them and say, hey, I'd send them a custom video and be like, hey, I saw that you've been really engaged with my email list. I wanted to reach out and basically see if you had any questions for me, if you have anything that you need help with, do you have any questions about my program? And people would come back and reply to me and be like, wow, I can't believe that you just sent me like a custom video, like that you're a real person and you obviously took the time to do something that most people wouldn't do. And because I did that, I was actually getting a lot more sales on my programs, and it added this whole other layer of personality, right? And it wasn't hard to do, and it was something that I only did with people who were actually engaged with me, right? People who were kind of paying attention to what I was doing. So it just really added this whole other complexity and not really complexity, just a whole other layer of something personalized that no one else was doing. And I was only able to do that because of the lead scoring functionality within ActiveCampaign. Now, beyond that, you can also do some other things. Obviously I can see what list they're subscribed to. I can add tags, which could designate maybe that they've gone through certain parts of my email sequences or, seen parts of my content that I've released. I can see all the past emails that I've sent to them and all the activities based on what they've done. So this person, I can see they subscribed to my LM ebook through the API. They entered the automation, they got my welcome campaign, but then this was a fake email, so it actually bounced. But normally for someone that gave me their real email address, we would see all the activity about the emails they're opening, the links they're clicking, and anything else that I need to go along with this. So my conclusion on all of this would be that this is a very powerful tool. It's very easy to use. If you guys have any questions for me about ActiveCampaign, I've been using it now for well over 2 years, and I'm very happy with it. I had considered at one point going back to ConvertKit, but ultimately I found that this tool does everything that I need it to do, aside from the email editor being a little bit flaky at times and just kind of wonky. Once you kind of learn the ropes of it and you understand how to do it, it's very, very easy to move forward with this and actually use it in your business. And I made a lot of money utilizing ActiveCampaign for myself. And again, if you guys decide to sign up for a trial, I'll hook you up with some of my automations. And again, if you guys want to see the masterclass that I put together on how I'm going out there and landing clients, check out the link below in the description. I'll leave a link to that as well. Maybe if you're not interested in email marketing, this might be something for you to definitely check out. Again, be sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.